episode I'm sure you'll like. And if not, fuck it, I tried. Welcome to the Fit Podcast.
Check this out.
Somebody came through shooting and killed him and the baby.
Police say the father and daughter were found dead inside their car just one day after they reportedly celebrated her 5th birthday.
He was a good kid, y'all. He was. He didn't bother nobody. He didn't. Him and that baby.
Investigators say
How could I put this? So, one time I was at a funeral. One of my partners ended up passing away. He was shot. And I remember at the church, we all sitting down. I'm sitting next to one of my friends. And I remember that the preacher was right there on the stage or the podium doing what he do. And then he allowed friends and close loved ones to speak on behalf of my bro that passed. And I remember my bro grandmother got on the podium and she was on the mic talking about how he was when he was a kid and everything else. And I remember her referring to him as like one of the best people she ever, encountered in her life type shit. And she was like, my baby was so good and he wouldn't hurt nobody. He's so innocent. And they just took him from the streets. They took his life. They did him so wrong, paraphrasing here. My baby wouldn't even hurt a fly. And y'all did this to him. And I remember I chuckled a little bit. I was crying, but I chuckled. I started laughing a little bit. And one of my other homies, my homie who was sitting next to me, he kind of looked at me smiling. And to the naked eye, everybody who heard us laugh, they look at what the fuck is wrong with you? And I know that wasn't a good look. I get it. But I remember the preacher was pretty much saying that, he here with us in spirit form. He can see you and he hear you. He's with you. And all I thought was after his grandmother would have said those words, he wouldn't hurt a fly. That nigga in spirit, if he was sitting next to me, would have been laughing too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to take away from the situation and make it all about me. I just want you to hear me out on this one. So we know, and forgive me, my phone going off. I don't know. This is all unprofessional. Forgive me, y'all. But I had to tackle this one, this review. It was so ironic that she said that because I know for sure, but this particular friend, and I know this for sure, he had about 4 or 5 bodies underneath him. Been stepping on cats. Before the word stepping was a slang to even use. It was just how the life we were living, or at least he lived as well, it caught up with him. And in those process of dealing with him and dealing with him as a friend, us living that life, we got what comes with associating ourselves in those type of interactions and lifestyle that we lived. We fight a lot. We did a lot of things that wasn't cool to do to people. That was coming back to us. And if you was with us at that time, those individuals would have been getting at you too, just because you're with us and how we move. And what I'm trying to say is, how we live not only affect ourselves as individuals, but the people around us. When you sign up for this lifestyle, you either picked or you decide to do eventually, or say you were destined to do, you get what comes with it. And unfortunate for people that love you and around you, they can find themselves mixed up into your web as well. My homie wasn't no innocent dude out there. Neither was I in a circle of people that ran with him. Just remember, when it comes down to vengeance and how people move, there's no expiration on get back. You never know, like, if that little girl was purposely targeted or not. Just because she's there, she got what her father was attracting to. None of those bullets, I believe, was ever meant for her. It was really meant for him. But being that it made the lifestyle he lived and the lifestyle he promote, it tragically affected her as well. And who am I to say it wasn't meant for her? Maybe those dudes intentionally knew they were going to kill that little girl, which is fucked up. But think about it. In our culture, people use this term demon time. And believe me, with that kind of thinking, demonic forces play into that. And I'm not saying some demon got into the guy's body and make him kill. No, I'm not selling that to you. What I'm saying is this. Let's say you with your lady, right? You want to have a romantic like vibe. You're going to play the music that set the mood, that set the tone for the evening. You're not going to play nothing too hardcore. You don't want that. You want to play something that's, you know what I'm saying, R&B-ish or jazz, like whatever fits the tone of the room and the area and the environment. That music play as an influence. That's what demons do. See, before your lady came in the room, your mind was already set to do what you want to do and how you want it done, but the music only enhanced and set the tone for that. So what I'm getting at is these demonic forces, they latch on to this type of life. If you live in that life, that gangster, that evil, or anything, they latch on to it and they play as an influence. In your mind, you about to carry out something. Your opposition right there at the car wash. Let's get them now. They run up. He run away. The baby wasn't with him when he was running. Obviously, I'm assuming the baby was already in the car. Assuming, allegedly. By the time he got in the car, trying to pull out, they there, dumping, emptying. Under that demonic influence, while they killing that man, overkill style, they see the baby, she's screaming, crying, probably holding her ears. She's probably screaming her dad's name. They just said, fuck it. And kill her too. Tragic and unfortunate in so many ways. I'm not trying to act like I'm the peacemaker and I walk these streets as if I never had no history. From influencing the streets and being one growing up, I understand the other side of the fence, you know? Been there, done that type shit. But as time go by and you get older, I hope you be quick to see the bigger picture. If you live in that life, that gangster life, that thug life, whatever the fuck you want to call it, just understand what comes with it. Just because you're the walking target don't mean the people that you love can't be victims too. May little Ronnie rest in peace, but man, big, heavy heart condolences and love to the family over a 5-year-old little girl who was innocent. Have nothing to do with the situation. That's not alleged. I believe wholeheartedly have nothing to do with that. But I'm not saying the father deserved it. I'm not saying that the father lived that life and he deserved to die. And I'm saying, believe it or not, the laws of attraction is real. The laws of attraction is more realer than karma. Karma not. A lot of people going to argue that. Nah. I don't think it was her time to go because it was just karma. God wanted, I heard preachers do that in churches say, oh, it just, God wanted that little baby. It was her time. So God wanted that little girl in heaven. So he decided to let this stray bullet from a drive-by hit her in the head, or what that little boy who was just playing at the park. Some kids just come up and shoot up and, you know, X amount dead. God just wanted all of them, because that's just, you know, how God operate. I don't believe it. I believe God said, hey, I created you humans. I gave you the basic instructions before leaving this earth, the Bible. You think y'all could do this thing called life without me? Have at it. Heaven's movie. Angels, God, they watch from heaven and view this movie. Shout out to Busy Bone for some. And honestly, this is why I have a hard time telling kids to put the guns down. You know what I'm saying? Grown men to put the guns down. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I say that is because everybody should have the right to protect themselves, especially in Texas. Like, their guns law is honestly way better than this Michigan shit. At least he could have been able to protect himself. He could have been able to turn around and shoot back if he had a split second to run and get to the vehicle. And according to the news and everything else, it showed that most of the bullet and shell cases was around the vehicle. So they caught up with him, then shoot, rather shooting him while he was running. So imagine if he was running, he had his on him, he could have turned around shooting at them. That could have, you know, altered their moment of shooting at him, you know. I don't know. My mind got to thinking about other ways where he could have did something if he had his pistol on him, a Glock 9, anything, 4.5, something. Anything that could have stalled the fact that them catching up to the vehicle, shooting him and his daughter. That's why, like I said, and I repeat, it's hard for me to tell anybody to put the guns down as long as you know you got enemies. And to me, nowadays, you don't have to have an enemy in order for you to have a reason to have a gun. If you can get the gun legally, get it. Protect yourself and most of all your loved ones at all times. It's just what it is. It's tragic. It burdens my heart to even say the stuff that's on my mind, because I know it may not rub well to people's eyes, but I'm talking from a person who's been on that side of town, who been in, you know, on those ends, and it's not worth it, you know, living that type of life. The only thing worth screaming about these streets is if you survived it, or you rap about it, you just strictly get paid. And even then, if you rap about it, it's a lot of shit that comes with it. That's all I gotta say on this one.
If you enjoy my content, well, please follow, like, and subscribe for more.